You're listening to an Airwave Media Podcast.
Wireless data. It's what connects us to just about everything. And full power licensed spectrum is how it gets from point A to point B. Americans will use 5 times more 5G data by 2027. To make sure all Americans benefit from secure, reliable 5G networks, we need more full power licensed spectrum. Go to more5gspectrum.com to learn more.
The Past and the Curious is perfect for families looking for a history-focused podcast everyone can enjoy together. I'm professional museum educator, author, and musician Mick Sullivan, and I have been creating The Past and the Curious for 6 years. There's humor, rich context, and surprises in every episode. There's dozens of stories about survivors and heroes and villains, and a lot of underwear. Find us in all of the usual podcast places. The Past and the Curious with Mick Sullivan.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neil, and Jeff. This is Triviality.
Hello and welcome to Triviality, the game where a lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. Matt isn't here today, but you know who is? Jeff and Ken. How are you both?
How you doing?
Pretty good.
I liked as the countdown was counting down, you said, "Hey, Ken, you want to do the intro?" I was like, "No,
I got to keep you on your toes.
too fast.
Keep you on your toes.
You know.
I know you got to prepare. Matt isn't here today. I sent him on a mission, so today I had kind of a weird afternoon. I went to a batting cage for the first time in like 15 years just to see if just to see if I could hit a ball again. Which I could, but not as well. So I started in the 70 mile an hour, then I had to go down, and then I had to work my way back up again because it's been a long time. But
where did you end up?
I went back up to the 70, but I did not get a bat that was my size because I felt awkward having to rent a bat. It's been so long.
Because all they had was kids' bats?
No, it was adults' bats, but the worker gave me one that was like way too long, and I didn't want to be like, this is too big for me. And so I was swinging a very heavy, very long bat. So I had to choke up quite a bit, like a kid.
Did you go to Haunted Trails?
Stella's.
Okay.
Yeah. But then right after, though, I watched Taken, which I forgot of how solid of a movie that is. So I told...
Is there a good bat scene?
Oh, no, there isn't. There should have been, though. You're right. He uses his hands like bats.
Okay.
But I told Matt, I was like, hey, Liam Neeson goes to Paris, causes all kind of havoc. You need to go there and retrace his steps. And so that's where he's at.
I'm sure a lot of people do that. They go to Paris and retrace Taken.
Go to the... Good trip.
It's a good attraction.
Good attraction, yeah. But we have some special guests with us tonight, though, in place of Matt, and it's just going to make the show even better, and we're super excited to have them here. Our first guest is going to be hosting today's game. You might see him all over the crop. He's always posting some fun stuff or commenting, and we always appreciate that. Coming to us from Omaha, Grant Triplett. How are you, Grant?
Good. How are you?
Doing awesome.
Seems like a great name for a baseball player.
Grant. Oh, you're right. Triplett. Grant Triplett. I like that. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and if you are a baseball player, who knows?
No, not at all. Trivia players about it. Maybe baseball trivia. I work for a medical staffing company right now, and I write a lot in my spare time. I actually have a couple books. One's about restaurants in Omaha, and one's about dive bars in Omaha, which are two of my favorite things. I play a lot of video games, and I listen to a lot of trivia. I found you guys probably in 2020, I think, and I listened to pretty much everything you had out in the summer when I was landscaping. I just had nothing but headphones and a lawnmower, so I soaked it up, and I took a year off, actually, and then came back and went through it all again. So
welcome back, and thank you.
Yeah,
it's
we appreciate
fresh after that. Yeah, it's nice to go back because you forget a lot. So,
well, no, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for saying that.
That happens to us after a week.
Yeah.
Now, I was listening to us during a dark time like the pandemic, kind of like listening to the Postal Service when you're depressed.
Oh, were you asking me? I don't listen to our show.
It was a rhetorical question.
I'm vigorously shaking my head yes.
Well, Grant, we'll have to come back to you at the end of the show and get the names of those book titles so everyone can check them out if they want to visit Omaha. We are super excited to welcome Chris Hernandez, coming to us from New Jersey, Oakland 5 supporter on Patreon. How are you, Chris?
I'm good.
Thank you for joining us. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm an attorney from New Jersey. I spend pretty much all my free time playing trivia online. I've got a wife, 2 cats, and a dog. And that's about it.
Well, thank you for joining us, Chris. And you had a choice of the three of us in this room to partner with today. And who are you going to partner with?
I've chose Ken.
All right. And any idea on a team name? What would you like to go by?
Well, when I play online, I usually go by El Guapo. That's what people know me as.
So I said, well, We better be El Guapo and El Feo.
All
Would
right.
be El Feo.
You're El Feo?
Yeah, unfortunately.
That's not the drink that the Juggalos drink, right?
It's not that one, no.
Okay.
No, that's Fago.
Oh, okay. Well, El Guapo and El Feo, that means Jeff and I, we're going to partner together. And Jeff, what is our team name going to be?
I think we're going to be Los Pollos Hermanos.
That's correct. Los Pollos Hermanos for all you Breaking Bad fans.
Well, you guys prepare to get deep fried by us, because
Well, we have
we're going to be the cream today.
We have the box cutter out, though, so we'll see who ends up being cream on the floor later on.
Okay.
Well, those are the teams. We need to throw it to the rules read. Grant, any preference on the rules read?
I like the OG. I like that guy's voice.
All right. Darren, let's kick things off.
The rules of the game are simple. 20 questions split into 2 rounds worth 10 points apiece. At halftime, there'll be a special swing round designed by this week's host. After regulation, players will enter the final round with the points that they've accumulated and will have a chance to wager 0 to 30 points on 5 categorized questions. At the end of the game, someone will be named the cream of the crop.
Cream of the crop.
All right, Grant, feel free to take it away. We're ready to play the game.
All right, the first round is colors and banned things, BANNED. Question 1 is, which Crayola crayon was renamed Peach after the original bodily named moniker was deemed unattractive?
Okay, we are going to lock in.
All right. So, do you have any initial thoughts on this one?
I think this is Skin. Skin.
I agree with you to a point, but I think the phrasing might have been flesh.
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was also deemed not true in all cases.
Right.
So, flesh.
In fact, it probably serves a very narrow subset of white people, probably. Because I'm even paler than that.
Yeah, we agreed. We much prefer Jack Black's version in the Super Mario Brothers movie of flesh instead of peach. So we said flesh as well.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, it is flesh.
All right. Good start, boys.
Yeah, on the board with flesh.
All right. Question 2. What crop-themed color was replaced by a weed-themed color when it became dandelion?
So, it's crop themed. So, usually
Maybe corn stalker.
I was thinking something like that. Like, so dandelion is the current color. So I was thinking corn, hay, maize, wheat.
Yeah, we could go with wheat, I guess.
Okay, we'll say wheat.
And you said one of the things that we're going to say. We said maize.
The answer is maize. All right, question 3. Dandelion's time was actually short-lived. It was eventually replaced by another color in the spectrum. Which primary color took its place?
Yeah, we're just going to put our cards on the table and we'll just say yellow. And that's what we're going to lock in with. What about you guys?
I would be in agreement with that if you're good with that, Chris.
Yeah. I mean, I can't think of any other primary colors that would be the same color as dandelion. So.
Yep, yellow.
Well, now you got me second guessing. I thought primaries were red, green, and blue. I was trying to lower it down to three chances. It was actually blue. It got replaced with Bluetiful was the name of the color.
Bluetiful?
Yeah.
So maybe they pulled it out of the box and it got replaced with a different color. So it didn't have to be the same color.
Yeah. 3 primary colors, red, yellow, blue. Secondary colors, orange, green, violet.
Yeah, so our mistake was assuming that they replaced it with the same color.
A similar color.
But
Yes.
they replaced the crayon in the box.
We're just the idiots. And if you're a fan of John Travolta, primary colors.
On to question 4 here. We have used sometimes by Bob Ross and maybe Frederick the Great. Which shade of blue could be seen on The Joy of Painting?
We are locked in.
Would this be royal blue, maybe?
Now, as a man who went to sleep for a long time watching The Joy of Painting to calm him down at the end of a long, stressful day, I believe the blue that he often used was Prussian blue. I'm assuming
that would make sense.
Frederick the Great was maybe a Prussian ruler.
He definitely was, yes.
All right.
Okay.
So we're going to go with Prussian blue.
Yeah, I'm glad he wasn't the ruler of Thalo. We also said Prussian blue. Little joke for you Bob Ross fans out there.
The answer is Prussian blue.
All right.
What was the
Is that yellow? Phthalo yellow?
No, it was I thought it was
Yellow
phthalo
ochre,
blue.
I think.
Yellow ochre.
Oh.
Yeah.
He had
What was
midnight
the-
blue, I know.
what was the phrase he used to say when he hit the
Happy little accidents.
when he hit the brush to
Oh,
like get the
you gotta
devil,
beat the devil out of it.
beat the devil out of it. That's right.
And then he'd have a little chuckle.
Yeah, that's right. Because he'd do like the really fast like beat the devil out of it. Yeah. Okay.
All right, let's go to question 5 here. Which rarest crayon created for Oprah was named after this famous Oscar snub flick? Bonus point if you know how many awards it was nominated for without winning.
All right, so I would think this would be the color purple.
I would agree. Do we know? Do we have a
many?
rough guess of how many awards?
I would guess like 7.
7? I'm down with that. That's a lot of awards, but it's feasible that you could lose 7 times. So we're gonna go color purple with 7 for the bonus.
See, and I thought this is you get a new car smell, and apparently Neil said that is not correct.
No. So color purple is correct, and it had 11 nominations and did not win. Big scandal at the time because all of them came to the Oscars wearing purple because they thought they were going to win something, and they did not win anything.
It was the color purple, and you picked up the bonus point with 11 snubs.
All right, so we'll give you 5 bonus points for that one.
All right, you're going to give us 5 bonus points. Adding that into our scores after 5, it looks like El Guapo and El Fallo are at 30 points, and Los Pollos Hermanos, 45.
All right, let's go to banned things. Which small pet, not in the Rodentia family, despite commonly being mistaken for rodents, is banned in 3 states and 6 cities, including Omaha, for its capacity to possibly carry foot and mouth disease?
All right, I'm going to make Jeff sweat a little bit, and I'm have him circle out of 3 choices, but we're locked in.
All right. So, did you have any initial thoughts? I have a pretty strong thought here.
All right, go ahead.
Well, I used to own a hedgehog, and I know it's not a rodent, although commonly confused as a rodent, and I know it is banned in several states because we had to check before we got it. So that would be my guess is hedgehog.
I'm happy to go with that. Yep.
I trusted that Jeff's fandom of Ben Schwartz would win out, and he circled a hedgehog on my paper.
Well, I'm glad you didn't need the hint. It was they aren't actually blue, and it is hedgehogs.
Yeah, it might have been a little bit of a giveaway for anybody born in the last 30, 40 years or seen the movie Sonic. So,
well, speaking of Sonic, I told Jeff this the other day. I don't know if anyone here, other than Jeff, maybe if he has, since I've talked to him, but if you've seen the show Jury Duty on Amazon/Freevee, has anyone seen that?
I have not yet. It is on my short list.
It's very good, and the elevator pitch here is there is a fake trial in a court, and everyone is an actor except one man on the jury who has no idea it's all fake.
Oh, I like that.
And it features James Marsden playing a version of himself, and the whole show is basically designed to get this guy into uncomfortable situations, to finish the trial, to get him to do things he doesn't want to do, and it's all scripted / improv, and then they're all changing what they're doing in real time. So like,
how is the person not? Oh, I guess the person's recognizing that he's on the jury with James Marsden.
Yeah. So what the beginning of it was like, we're filming a court case, and would you like to be considered a juror on this court case that's going to be filmed? And the guy just thought, okay, there's a documentary. But then James Marsden comes in and he's like,
oh,
actor, I don't need to be here. I'm going to try and get out of it, but he can't get out of it.
So it's like you're in the jury with James Marsden, but it's like fictionalized. Okay.
It's fictionalized.
That's
and
funny.
That's pretty crazy.
And then my favorite thing about it was anytime that it got too crazy where they thought he would figure out it was all fake, like the Truman Show, they would stick him with 5 hours of real boring court stuff. so he would think it was real. So it's really great though. Just check it out. You'll enjoy it. 8 episodes.
All right, question 7. What Gerard Butler flick was banned in Iran for its, quote, hurtful American propaganda that misrepresented and hurt the country's identity and history?
What do you think about that, Jeff?
I will confirm you are correct.
All right, we're going to lock in.
I think.
All right, so I would guess this is 300.
I would agree with you. As the Spartans are defending against the Persian Empire, I believe. So there's probably some Probably some not great stuff in there, so let's go with 300.
I think there actually may be some truth to that statement. I think they may have really oversold the Spartans as the good guys, but we said 300.
It is 300.
Although Geostorm was also a crime, I believe.
Geostorm was the one I was watching, and I sent you a video because the name of the satellite that is trying to help Earth or hurt Earth is called Dutch Boy.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah. And Grant, you have the 300 physique you were telling us before we started recording.
Yeah, it's airbrushed. It's digital.
Hey, as long as it's there, it doesn't
Same
matter
as
if it's
in the
airbrushed.
movies, man. So
Yeah, right. Yeah.
it's as real
I
as
remember
that.
Grant
I
has a
tried that
full-time visual effects
workout.
artist.
Yeah.
What'd you
I
say?
tried the workout for like 2 weeks and I gave up. They have a 300 workout you can do, and it's just brutal. Like, if you're not a Hollywood
sit-ups.
person with access to protein and needles, I'm not sure what they
Well,
do.
you-
with that
you
juice
do
stuff.
you do have a Leonidas-esque beard though, so you got
Yeah.
that going for you.
So
I got
Jeff
too
and
much
Ken,
fur though. They're all shaved.
what would the Triviality workout be?
It's just sitting in the sweat
Eat
lodge
Sleep
sweating.
podcast.
You just lose water weight from sweating.
Just because it's so hot in here and you can't leave. All you get is hot coffee.
That is
or
one of
room
the things
temperature water.
that I respect about Channing Tatum, though, is he was talking about how like he didn't eat or like didn't drink anything for like 2 days for like the Magic Mike stuff, so he looked like super cut. It's like, this is dangerous. Like, it's dangerous to look like this.
My favorite
And I'm
interview.
like, thank you for telling people that.
As a quick aside, is Rob McElhenney, where he said, "Oh, you want to know how I got to look this shredded and everything?" He's like, "Get a professional nutritionist. Hate yourself. Like, stop eating or what you want to eat or whatever
Work
it
out
was."
6 days a week.
Yeah, it was drugs or whatever he said. It was really
Anybody
funny.
can do it.
Yeah,
Easy peasy.
Kumail Nanjiani said like the same thing when he was like, "How do I look like this? Easy, Marvel money."
You might be able to turn Triviality into workout. Just do sit-ups every time you get one wrong or something, right?
Yeah, there you
That's
go.
a lot of sit-ups.
Yeah, 10 push-ups every wrong question.
Yeah. You guys are doing hot now, so let's go to question 8. Which country, sandwiched between Iraq and Saudi Arabia, bans criticism of their sheikh, with repercussions ranging from fines, prison, and even permanent exile?
Jeff has his pen. He's drawing on his paper. Right now it looks like a hot dog, but I think it's turning into a map.
I'm like trying to think. This
You
is
know
the
what?
only
I'm
one
just going to look at a map. It's easier than drawing it.
Yeah, I mean that's fine with me. I feel like it's got some cachet and would make sense in a trivia game, so we can lock in.
Okay. I think this is Kuwait.
Kuwait, I'd be down with that. My geography game is not strong, so I'm going to believe you.
Yeah, I think Jeff was down with the Kuwaitness as well. He wrote Kuwait.
Kuwait is correct.
Nice.
They got a big popular trivia show out there too. It's called Kuwait, Kuwait, Don't Tell Me.
Oh, gosh.
I'm a fan of the other trivia podcast. Good job, Bahrain.
All right, nice. Neil, you got one?
I did, but it's not very good, so I'll pass.
You sure?
Yeah, I'll pass.
All right, next
Okay.
question, please.
All right. Question 9. The Babel Proclamation of 1918 made which languages illegal to speak in public in America?
And after a little bit of discussion, Neil, I think your answer you got written down is really funny, but I think we'll just stick with mine, which might be more
Accurate.
in line with what might the answer be.
Okay. So 1918, that's toward the end of World War I, is all I can really think about. Do you have any? I haven't really heard of this specifically, so do you have any inklings?
My initial inkling was like Navajo, maybe, or
I don't know if
I don't-
that would be happening in like 1918. I don't know what would trigger that in 1918
yeah, I don't know.
for that. I guess my best guess would be German, just due to World War One.
I mean, maybe. Sure.
So Neil wrote down a joke answer of all of them but American, which I don't I didn't want to go with because I thought it wasn't technically, it wasn't correct enough. Maybe English might have been the answer, but when I said Babel proclamation, I thought maybe they forbade speaking in tongues. So that's what we said.
The answer is all of them but English.
Ah,
I told you
joke
American
answer
was
gets-
just a joke.
Yeah, apparently there
remember-
was a bunch of, I guess, xenophobia or probably worries and scared. So if they heard anything else, which is kind of weird because I'm pretty sure we had foreign allies in that war. So
Now,
yep.
was that passed? And if so, when was it overturned?
I'd have to find the site that I found it on. But yeah, I know it was whoever was president during that time, like Hoover or Coolidge, somebody passed it. So
Okay.
So
I don't know if they
apparently
actually enforced it though.
Yeah, the Babel Proclamation was a proclamation issued by Iowa's Governor William L. Harding in 1918,
Okay.
and it was basically established so that Iowans, wouldn't have to worry about people speaking German. Basically.
Okay.
And then after World War I, Harding repealed the proclamation on December 4th, 1918.
All right.
There you go. Question 10. In 2000, Halifax, Nova Scotia passed a law fining people if they were found to have offended which one of a person's 5 senses?
Okay. So I think the funniest one is sense of smell.
That's what I was thinking as well. Yeah.
All right, great. So we're on the same page, and in that case, this sweat lodge would be fine. But we're gonna go smell.
Yeah, that's what Neil wrote down. We said sense of smell.
Sense of smell or scent. Apparently, there was an anti-scent campaign when like these new deodorants came out, or if there was like a smelly grandma on the bus or something, and they made it illegal. And it's kind of weird because it's just it's all opinion. So I think you have to have like enough people saying this person smells bad. But they also were saying that DDT and stuff in the deodorant was poison, so it's kind of an anti-poison campaign. Is how I don't know if it's still in effect. This was in 2000, so yeah, it is scent.
The Axe consensus is 1. You just need one other person to go. That smells like crap.
I was going to mention Axe, but instead of mentioning Axe, I'm going to mention scores because after the first round here, it looks like El Guapo and El Fayo with 70 points, picking up an extra 40 in that second half, and also picking up an extra 40. Los Pollos Hermanos bringing their total to 85.
Let's just clarify something though, really quick. Axe in itself, no problem. It's just not a replacement for a shower.
Yeah.
Also, liberally applying it in quantities that would qualify as smog
Is a
probably
Yeah, just enough for your
not a
armpits.
shower.
Enough for your armpit is probably fine, but maybe not your whole body and your crotch.
Yes,
Right.
but that is not how teenagers use it.
So now that that's settled, let's move on to the swing round.
Alrighty. I don't know how I've listened to 300 episodes and I thought it was the lightning round, not the swing round, but this is all about weather because I wanted it lightning related.
Okay, it could be a lightning round today.
Yeah,
All
why not?
right. Question 1 here. The movie Magnolia features an occurrence of this actual weather phenomenon when it rains which creatures from the sky? Question 2. 3 people have been confirmed killed by what weather phenomenon? It's less than falling coconuts. Question 3. What disc-shaped clouds are sometimes mistaken for alien spacecrafts? They are found on top of hills and mountains. Number 4. A mixture of heat, moisture, high mountains, and irregular terrain create the perfect conditions for this common energy burst. What makes it rare is that it can happen for 10 hours at a time in Venezuela due to their climate. Question 5. Seen in Pirates of the Caribbean, this event happens at sunset or sunrise on a clear day, looking on the ocean's horizon. Water vapor in the atmosphere absorbs the yellow and orange colors in white sunlight, and air molecules scatter the violet light. What is it called when this happens? 6. Rainbows in San Francisco and other foggy places can appear to be this color due to the water droplets absorbing the color. 7. What severe Midwest windstorm is born from multiple thunderstorms? It can reach speeds of 100 miles per hour and leave mass destruction across long stretches of land. Number 8. Where is the wettest place on Earth? Mawsynram, MAWSYNRAM, averaging 467 inches of precipitation annually. Just give me the country that Mawson-Ram is in. Number 9, where is the driest place on Earth? The Atacama Desert, averaging less than 1 millimeter of precipitation per year. Some areas haven't seen any rain for 500 years. And I'll need the name of that country. The Atacama Desert is in this country. And number 10, the Bridge Creek tornado of 1999 in Oklahoma reached speeds of how many miles per hour? I'll give you 30 miles per hour in either direction.
Okay, we have our swing round questions, and we'll be right back with our best answers after these messages.
China is making 370% more 5G spectrum available than America. Tell Congress to restore FCC auction authority and allocate more 5G spectrum to make sure America leads the industries and innovations of the future. Go to more5gspectrum.com to learn more.
Priceline presents Go to Your Happy Price. What's up? It's Kaylee Cuoco. When it comes to travel, we all have a happy place. You can see yourself already there. It's beautiful. It might be sunny and sandy for some, neon and urban for others, deserts or rainforests or hiking trails. With Priceline, you can get to your happy place for a happy price with deals you really can't find anywhere else. Like up to 60% off select hotels to Costa Rica or 5-star hotels for 2-star prices in Cabo. Go to Priceline.com and travel to your happy place for a happy price. All right, see ya. I'm off to Miami. No, actually, wow, look at that. No, I'm going to Hawaii now. Ooh, Cancun looks nice. You know what? Belize looks pretty nice this time of year. Or, Palm Springs.
Go to your happy place for a happy price. Go to your happy price, Priceline.
All the answers from the swing round are now locked in, so we're going to go back to Grant and get those questions one more time. We'll see if we're right.
All right, question 1 in the swing/lightning round. The movie Magnolia features an occurrence of this actual weather phenomenon when it rains which creatures from the sky?
Yep, probably my second favorite P.T. Anderson movie, and we're saying Rain of Frogs.
Yeah, I love this movie. It gets too much hate for some reason from more modern audiences, but we love it. We said frogs.
Frogs is correct. Question 2. 3 people have been confirmed killed by what weather phenomenon? It's less than falling coconuts.
Well, I thought it might be more, but Chris had a good answer here.
Yeah, I went with hail.
It's an interesting one. We too went with something falling from the sky. We said meteorites.
It is actually hail. I thought it would be a lot more than that too. Number 3. What disc-shaped clouds are sometimes mistaken for alien spacecrafts? They are found on top of hills and mountains.
We are not cloud men. We don't know a lot of names of clouds, so we just said nimbus.
We said cumulonimbus.
Nimbus poop.
This is one of those ones, if you didn't know there's a name for it, and then when you see them, if you were to Google this right now, you'd know exactly what they look like. They're called lenticular clouds.
Okay.
I do know what they look like. The problem was we don't know what they're called.
Yeah, they kind of look like a halo on top of a mountain or something. Number 4, a mixture of heat, moisture, high mountains, and irregular terrain create the perfect conditions for this common energy burst. What makes it rare is that it can happen for 10 hours at a time in Venezuela due to their climate.
Yeah, so I wasn't sure, but I felt like it was some sort of lightning, so we went with ball lightning.
Oh, it's definitely lightning. We didn't get any more specific than that, but...
Yeah, I'll take lightning or ball. I don't know what ball lightning is, but I'll give it to you.
Okay.
It is just lightning.
Ball lightning, I believe, is lightning that doesn't make contact with the ground. It's like cloud to cloud.
Yeah, when I was doing research, there's a whole bunch of different lightning. Sheet lightning, there's like reverse lightning that comes from the ground up or something. Number 5, seen in Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't know if we figured out it was the 4th or 5th one, but this event happens at sunset or sunrise on a clear day looking on the ocean horizon. Water vapor in the atmosphere absorbs the yellow and orange colors in white sunlight, and air molecules scatter out the violet light. What is this called?
So we weren't sure on this one, and we were trying to come up with something clever, but we had to stick with St. Elmo's fire.
Ooh, that's a great guess there. We had no idea. I just kind of latched on to the yellow and blue aspect of it and was like, maybe it's green something, but we never really got farther than green something. So that's what we locked in with.
Very close. It's called the green flash. Number 6. Rainbows in San Francisco and other foggy places can appear to be this color due to the water droplets absorbing the color.
Yeah, we weren't sure, so we just figured any guess is as good as the next, so we just said blue.
Yep. This one, I think I've heard this before. Could be way off, but we went with my gut. I think it's just white. I don't think there really is a color.
It is white. It's foggy rainbows. Number 7. What severe Midwest windstorm is born from multiple thunderstorms? It can reach speeds of 100 miles per hour and leave mass destruction across long stretches of land.
We went with tornado on this for lack of anything else.
Keeping it simple.
Jeff?
We called it a bomb El Nino. I don't know.
These are called derechos.
That's right.
Oh,
derechos.
I never knew what it was till one hit around here in Nebraska. I know Midwest area like 5 years ago. I don't know why they're so rare, because it sounds like it's a light tornado almost or something. Or maybe it's a wind without funnel cloud. Number 8. Where is the wettest place on Earth, Mossine Ram, averaging 467 inches of precipitation annually? What country?
So between the name of the place and the fact that I think I saw recently that this place gets a ton of rainfall, we're going with Scotland.
yeah. And Jeff and I were talking. We said if it was in 1954, it would be in Japan on the set of Seven Samurai, but that wasn't a good enough answer. So we locked in with India.
Mossine Ram is in India. Number 9. Where is the driest place on Earth? The Atacama Desert, averaging less than 1 millimeter of precipitation per year. Some areas haven't seen any rain for 500 years.
On this one, we went with Chile.
We agree. We said Chile.
It is Chile, or
Nice.
Chile.
You think there'd be a city or a neighborhood in Oxford called Atacama?
Oh.
I'm out.
Yes, please excuse yourself.
I think pronunciation doesn't really matter, except for Cote d'Ivoire, which has a law that says that every other nation must pronounce it Cote d'Ivoire.
I appreciate that.
The Bridge Creek tornado of 1999 in Oklahoma reached speeds of how many miles per hour? I'll give you 30 miles per hour in either direction.
So we said 350, because we don't really know what an average tornado is. So
We are going to hedge our bets here. Neil and I both thought 300, but I feel more comfortable just knocking it up just a hair. We're going to say 315. Give us a comfortable range.
Neil and Jeff did make it in the range of 301 miles per hour.
After the swing round, it looks like El Guapo and El Feo picking up 20 points, bringing their total to 90 points. And Los Pollos Hermanos picking up 30 points, bringing their total to 115. And when it comes to numbers, the most important numbers to us are Patreon and having all of your support. So if you'd like to join Patreon and help us by giving as little as $1 a month to help grow the show, we'd very much appreciate it. For as little as $1 a month, you can get all of our new episodes ad-free over on the Patreon website, or you can have your own link to your own player and get all those episodes even earlier than they're supposed to come out, because Jeff usually posts them about a day early, so you'll be the first to listen to the new episodes. But for as little as $5 a month, you're going to get stickers and bonus episodes, new audio content, and
so much extra content.
So much, yeah, exactly. So much more. And we're going to be doing Bloodsport Season 3, and being a patron is sort of a free entry into possibly being on a season of Bloodsport. So this one is casted already, but when we do more in the future, being a patron lets you get cast in Bloodsport. Anything else, Jeff, that you'd like to add?
No, Neil, I think you covered it.
All right, well,
I can't do better than perfection.
Well, thank you. I don't know if it's perfection, but I'll take the compliment and the hint to keep the show moving. So go to patreon.com/Triviality Podcast to join all of the wonderful folks who are helping us continue to do this show because we love it, and also helping us grow and making it better each and every year.
All right. Round 2 is famous last. It could have last in the title, or it just could be the last thing that happened at a particular time, moment. You'll catch on pretty quick here. Number 1. What 1972 movie starring Marlon Brando raked in $36 million despite it receiving an X rating?
We're gonna lock in over here.
Yeah, so I believe this is Last Tango in Paris.
I agree.
Yep, Jeff wrote Last Tango in Paris in a stick of butter. We locked in.
That is correct. Last Tango in Paris. Number 2. The last vehicle made by the automobile company Geo was produced in 1997 before they became part of Chevrolet. Name as many Geo models as you can, getting 5 points for each.
Well, Neil, I'm sure you're leaning on me for this one. I came up with what I believe are 4 Geo models.
All right, I trust you. I only wrote down 2, and I think you have them already, so
I do have both of those.
we'll lock in.
So, Chris, I'm not a car guy, assuming this is about cars. I've never heard of this.
Is there a Geostorm? That's the
That's
only
a Gerard Butler movie.
That we mentioned
not
earlier.
Maybe that's why I'm thinking of it. But
Let's say the Geostorm.
I don't know any Geos.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the Geostorm is the coolest car ever named. They had a tiny little city car called the Geo Metro. They had a little crossover small SUV called the Geo Tracker. And Neil remembered another one.
I know the Geo Tracker. Shoot.
The Geo Prism. That's what we came up with.
Oh, yeah.
You guys pulled out, 3 of them? It was Geo Metro, Geo Tracker, Geostorm, Geo Prism, and for 1989 only, Geo Spectrum.
I was definitely going to remember that.
All right, so you guys got 4. We got 1. So 5 points for us and 20 points for you guys.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to question 3. What Christmas hit from 1984 ranks number 10 on the all-time highest grossing holiday singles?
So not everybody's favorite Christmas song,
Sigh of
but
excitement.
Last Christmas.
That's what I was thinking, yep.
All right.
Wham.
Wham.
Wham!
Wham.
We support anyone who has a cheese farm, and we said Wham's Last Christmas.
Last Christmas by Wham.
The guy from Blur?
No, the other guy from Wham.
Yeah, the guy from Blur, I think, is like a cheese farmer or something, too.
Oh, he also is a cheese farmer?
Something like that.
Oh, yeah, the guy from Wham became a farmer, yeah.
So fun thing about this answer, I know Lee DeGeorge and Paul McLaughlin participate in Whamageddon, which is you try to get through the Christmas season without ever hearing Last Christmas, and if you do, you're out.
Yeah.
And I think there's fabulous prizes, but it's just for fun.
Yeah, and I think they maybe put some money in a pool, and then whatever they raise goes to charity.
Yeah, sounds like fun.
All right, number 4. While Hawaii has a time zone of -10 UTC, making it one of the last places to see the new year, which U.S. territory has a -11 UTC? Bonus point if you know one of the 2 minor outlying islands who are the only places that have a UTC -12.
Okay, so we need a U.S. territory that's UTC 11, right?
Correct.
Right.
All right, so are the Marshall Islands still a U.S. territory?
I don't believe so, no.
So we're looking for something west of Hawaii, right?
Yeah, I was thinking American Samoa.
Okay, I'm good with that. And then for the bonus, what do we need? Nations that might be UTC?
No, it's just 2 tiny minor outlying islands. I think they're actually American islands that are -12, which I think would put them on with zero time or a whole day in advance. I'm not sure how it works.
Yeah, I have no idea on that.
All right, let's just stick with American Samoa then.
So I was proud. Jeff said he agreed with me when I wrote down Guam. And then what did you have for the UTI 10 or whatever?
Yeah, I know there's a few things out there. We just guessed the Palmyra Atoll.
The U.S. territory that's minus 11 is American Samoa.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Good pull, Christian. The outlying islands are Baker Island and Howland Island.
Okay.
Oh,
That's hard. That's hard enough for a bonus.
that's very hard for a bonus, yeah.
All right, question 5.
Question 5. Neil Armstrong is famous for being the first person on the moon. Who was the last person to step foot on it back in 1972?
All right, Jeff has alerted me that he knows the answer, so we're going to lock in.
Any ideas here, Chris? I just simply can't remember this no matter how many times I hear it.
I'm like the worst geek because I have no interest in space stuff at all, so I never know any of this stuff from one thing to the other. Yeah, I don't have anything on this.
So I don't think it was Alan Shepard, but you want to do like a Lucky Shepherd?
Sure.
As a shout out.
And we are going to say Gene Cernan.
Eugene Cernan. I was surprised
now
to
I'm
find
gonna
out
remember
nobody's
it.
been on there
I
for
gotta
50
remember
years.
this.
Well, with a whisper and a cernin, it looks like after the first 5 questions of the second round, El Guapo and El Fago picking up 35 points, bringing their total to 125. It's just making myself laugh. That's why I keep saying it, but it doesn't really matter. And Los Pollos Hermanos picking up 50 points with those bonuses from question 2, bringing our total to 165.
Yeah, I got to say, it's probably the first time in history that somebody picking a Geo Prism was a good decision.
Let's go to question 6. What rapper's famous last words were expletive U, directed toward a police officer who was trying to administer aid to him?
We can lock in.
Is that Tupac?
That would be my guess, yeah.
Yep. We're going to go with Tupac.
We agree.
It is Tupac. Number 7. On May 23, 2022, the last one of what once commonly used item was removed from the streets of New York City.
So you're locked in on this one?
We're locked in.
Oh, I knew this.
Chris, any thoughts initially?
I'm going to guess a phone booth.
Yeah, they had to take Colin Farrell out first, and then they took the phone booth out.
It was basically, you're almost right. It was every copy of the movie Phone Booth on DVD. But no, yeah, we also said phone booth.
It is payphone or phone booth.
Where's Superman going to change?
He can't change in the street, that's for sure. He'd be exposing
Lord knows
himself.
that there's no public bathrooms.
That's true. Yeah,
no, there are. Have you been in a New York City street?
No, Neil doesn't invite me every time we go. So.
Speaking of Superman, though, I know it's cooler for the movie for him to go in a phone booth or the comics, or whatever, but couldn't he just like fly like 10 feet in the air and just like let the clothes just like fall off of him?
Then everybody would look up 10 feet and see him.
See,
I guess
this is
that's true.
the problem is in the 1930s, they didn't envision tear-off pants. So
that's true.
That's true. I imagine it would be like in Bruce
Clip-on
Almighty
ties.
when Jim Carrey takes his clothes off before the sensuous night, like his clothes come right off.
Yeah.
That's what it should be
Do you think Superman wears a clip-on tie so he could take it off quickly?
Well, from the movie, according to the movie, he doesn't.
He's a classy gentleman.
He has a real tie, but I think it would be easier if he had a clip-on tie. Well, my other question, though, is where do his clothes go that he takes off when he changes into Superman? Does he just leave him in the phone booth?
Yeah.
But I mean, if he's always leaving him in phone booths.
He's profiting off of Superman.
But I mean, if he's leaving clothing in every phone booth around the city, someone's going to be like, who is this serial, like...
He's giving to the homeless.
Oh, he's a homeless. Okay, so if the homeless is wearing it, then I can buy that.
I just imagine a Superman going around being like, I did save you. $20?
All right, moving on. Number 8. The oldest flag belongs to Denmark, dating back to 1219. The latest flag, adopted in 2010, belongs to which country? Orders to burn all the old flags were handed out by the country as well.
So, I'm just thinking of a relatively new country with South Sudan. What do you think of that?
Yeah, my African geography and political maneuvers is not great. So I'm gonna trust you there.
Yeah, African geography is an interesting one. I was thinking about South Sudan, but I thought they became a country in like 2011, so I thought maybe that was different. But we guessed Libya because I know they changed their flag to like from that all green flag or something. So maybe that happened during Arab Spring. I'm not sure.
Mm.
This one was actually Myanmar.
Okay.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you what the flag looks like now or what it looked like before.
Number 9. What is the last element to be added to the periodic table? Bonus point if you know the atomic number.
I think I actually know a chemistry question.
I want to see what Neil wrote, but we can lock in.
I think this might be Oganesson, but I'm not 100% sure.
I'm gonna believe whatever you say.
And I have no idea for a topic number.
Let's say 131.
Sure.
And Jeff, I normally don't answer these questions, but I wrote down Oganesson ?
Yeah, I think you are right. That would be the 118th. It's the highest one that we've discovered so far, and it follows with the neon, xenon, krypton, argon, radon, ON pattern that happens in the noble gases. So we'll say it's 118.
Oganesson, 118. Number 10. Sir Barton was the first winner of this in 1919 for racing, while Roger Hornsby won his for baseball in 1922. Who was the last Triple Crown winner?
All right, Jeff thinks he has a horse. I think I might have a
I got a
baseball
horse.
player. We're going to put them together, and we have an answer.
All right, so the horse, I remember California Chrome. I remember American Pharaoh. Do you remember, did both of them win the Triple Crown?
I know American Pharaoh did.
All right, so I think it's American Pharaoh then, not California Chrome. California Chrome might have been one short of the Triple Crown. So let's say American Pharaoh 2018. And that's...
I have no idea for the baseball.
All right, so that's all we got.
So I agree with you on the year, but I think American Pharaoh won in 2015. We said
I'm old.
We said Justify, which I think is the most recent Triple Crown winner. And then what did you say, Neil, for...
I wasn't sure on the baseball one. We just said Albert Pujols.
Pujols.
And
excellent player.
We just said for, Mayan end of the world, we said 2012.
Like it.
We have Miguel Cabrera in 2012. It's up to you if you guys want to take the points for the year.
No, you don't. It was a joke.
Justify 2018.
So we don't take the point. We both got the years, but...
Or if
well,
you want to
can either both take points, then yeah, there you go.
No,
either both
fine.
do or both don't.
No, it's fine. It doesn't make a difference.
So no points for either team, right?
No points for either team. And
well, I didn't need the years, and you guys did say Justify in 2018, right? Yeah.
Yep. So we do get that one.
You'd snag 10 for that, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well, speaking of lasts, this is the last question, but also Netflix has finally stopped sending out DVDs a few weeks ago. They officially ended that service.
That was still a thing?
That's what I was going to say. I would be mourning the service, although I thought it ended 10 years ago. So I guess I don't care much. But I do care about the scores, Neil.
Do you still do Netflix by disc or no?
I do not.
And do you know what the last disc Netflix, sent out? And I thought
Shakespeare in Love.
Oh, is that true?
No, I don't know.
Oh, it probably would be.
It's actually RoboCop on Laserdisc.
Whoever's still getting discs from Netflix probably has the good taste to order Shakespeare in Love.
On our way to the final round, the scores are looking like 155 for El Guapo and El Fego and 195 for Los Pollos Hermanos. So it's still anyone's game, technically. We'll see how the wagers turn out here in the final.
Such disrespect to our name. Call me ugly, Neil.
Is that what Fego means? Or Feo?
Feo, yeah.
Oh, Feo? All right.
Guapo is handsome and Feo is ugly.
All right. The categories for the final round. The theme is It Happened on May 3rd.
Which is today.
Which is when we're recording.
The date of recording, yes.
Number 1 is going to be Prime Ministers. 2 is Old Singers. 3 is More Prime Ministers. 4 is Television. 5 is Marvel.
The wagers are now in, so let's go ahead and get the questions and hope the questions favor our team.
All right. Question 1. Prime Ministers. This person was elected British Prime Minister, eventually becoming the longest to continuously hold that position since 1827. Number 2. Happy 120th birthday to this American crooner, born May 3rd, 1903. With over 1,600 songs and 70 feature films to his name, he has been cited as an influence to such stars as Sinatra, Elvis, and Lennon. Number 3. This 4th Prime Minister of Israel was born in Ukraine on this day in 1898. Number 4. The last episode of this show, lasting 13 seasons, was aired on this day in 1991. At least we got to find out who shot JR. Number 5. This Marvel movie, although released 6 years prior to Iron Man and Phase 1 of the MCU, came out on May 3rd, 2002. A few characters did go on to be in MCU films regardless.
We have our questions. We'll be back with our answers and find out who wins today's game.
What do you get when you take two childhood friends with a passion for unexplored history and a whole lot of booze?
You get the goofiest game in history, Queen's Podcast.
Hi, I'm Nathan.
And I'm Katie, and we're the hosts of Queen's Podcast.
Join us while we spill the tea on women from history.
We get into all kinds of stories here, like biographies of lesser-known figures. For instance, Saida Al-Hura, powerful pirate queen.
To the stories you might already know, like Marie Antoinette or Cleopatra, but with a fun twist.
Each queen is paired with a cocktail that'll totally get you in the mood to hear fun, juicy, and dramatic stories from history.
Because history is so much more than just dudes on a battlefield, and we believe that the female perspective and roles are just as deserving of their time in the spotlight.
Right. So come get to know these queens. Find us wherever you get your podcasts.
Cheers.
Have you ever wondered what really happened to Amelia Earhart or the lost colony of Roanoke? Do you ever find yourself scouring the internet for vicious Victorians and their murders by gaslight? Or perhaps you're just sick and tired of women being constantly misrepresented or plain lied about throughout history? If so, join me, Katie Charlwood, history harlot and reader of books, on Who Did What Now, the history podcast that's not your history class. Part of the Airwave Media Network. Available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Adios, au revoir, au revoir, my friends. Bye-bye. I'll be seeing you.
All the answers are now in. So, our team, Guapo and Feo, going real hard, going 30s all the way down. But let's get the questions one more time, and you guys can give your wagers, which are various. So what's question 1?
Number 1. This person was elected British Prime Minister, eventually becoming the longest to continuously hold the position since 1827. That was on May 3rd, and I did forget to give you a year, but we'll see what your guys' guesses are.
Chris, for 30 points?
I guessed Margaret Thatcher.
We, too, said Maggie Thatcher.
How many points?
We put 10 on that one only.
Margaret Thatcher.
Margaret Thatcher naked on a cold day.
I was hoping someone would say that. Number 2. Happy 120th birthday to this American crooner, born May 3rd, 1903, with over 1,600 songs and 70 feature films to his name. He has been cited as an influence to such stars as Frank Sinatra, Elvis Presley, and John Lennon.
Not too sure on this one. Again, 30 points. We said Nat King Cole.
We wagered 30 on this one. As someone who loves Frank Sinatra, if you love Frank Sinatra, you know that he very much looked up to his idol, Bing Crosby. That's what we locked in with.
Oh, that makes sense.
It is Bing Crosby.
Also famous for Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young.
What's one of their famous songs? I don't even know.
So far, Wooden Ships, Carry On, Sweet Judy Blue Eyes.
I don't know how any of those go. I was going to say it'd be funny to have it in a crooner voice, but I could not tell you what those songs sound like. So, before my time.
Number 3. This fourth Prime Minister of Israel was born in Ukraine on this day in 1898.
Again, 30 points for this one, Chris.
We went with Golda Meir.
So did we. We said for 10 only.
The correct answer is Golda Meir. Number 4. The last episode of this show, lasting 13 seasons, was aired on May 3rd, 1991. At least we found out who shot JR.
That's Dallas for 30 points.
We also said Dallas for 30 points.
Dallas for 30 points is correct. Number 5. This Marvel movie, although released 6 years prior to Iron Man and Phase 1 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, came out on May 3rd, 2002. A few characters did go on to be in MCU films, though.
It's kind of disgusting to think that this movie was only 6 years before Iron Man, but we're going to say Spider-Man. We believe that most of them reprised their roles in the new Spider-Man movie in the MCU, and Bruce Campbell was also in Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Between Toby, Stan Lee, and whoever the Green Goblin guy is, I always forget his name, Willem Dafoe. We too said Spider-Man for 30 points.
It is Spider-Man. And I don't know if you guys are airing the behind the scenes, but I've never seen someone take so long to get the right answer. That was insane watching you guys. You named like 18 really Marvel movies I didn't even remember, from X-Men to Fantastic Four to everything. And I was like,
all the bad ones.
Daredevil,
Hulk,
Ghost Rider.
Incredible Hulk, 5 different other. Yeah, it was insane that you guys got it. And then you started with Spider-Man 2, which is funny too. I'm like, no, please. After all that work.
Put him out of his movie.
Yeah.
No, please.
Go to Spider-Man 1.
No.
Yeah.
Grant, as I do the final calculations here, do you remember going through our backlog and the many number of episodes that we talked about Stan Lee coming up with Spider-Man, with the Mosquito Man?
I don't recall that. I remember there being a question about the original. It wasn't Fantastic Four. Who were the original? There was 6. Oh, the Avengers.
Oh, yeah.
The original 6 Avengers, and it was not who you'd think it'd be.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you, though.
Well, the game has come to an end, and the scores are in. Picking up a very good 90 points here in the final round, El Guapo and El Feo.
It's not good enough, huh?
No, it's not good enough, unfortunately. Not enough Guapo, but your final score...
I was like, at least one of you is Guapo.
Yes, so your score is 245, and picking up 110 points in the final round. Los Pollos Hermanos, the box cutter, wins, and Gustavo Fring has reigned victorious, at least until Walter Wright comes and gets him. We have 305 points, making us today's cream of the crop.
Cream of the crop.
All right, good job, guys.
Nice work.
Yeah, great game.
Strong performance all around.
Excellent game by Grant. Thank you so much. Appreciate
Thank
you
you.
hosting today.
Yeah, and to echo what we were saying a little bit earlier, the fact that I was looking for Netflix was the most watched Netflix hard copy disc through the mail of all time was The Blind Side.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
What a strange
It was
choice.
one disc, and it was completely scratched
Just
to
one
hell.
disc. Grant, wonderful questions. We really enjoyed them. Please give the shout outs to your book so people can check them out, and anything else you'd like to plug or send a message out here for your the floor is yours, basically, for your final words here.
Yeah, if you do pass through Omaha, I have a book about dive bars. It's rather graphic and X-rated, but it's the type of stuff you'd hear in a dive bar. It's called Taxi Diver. And then I have one called G's Spots. I got about 60 different restaurants in Omaha. But I mostly want to give you guys a shout out because I've been listening for 3 years. This is really fun. It's something I've wanted to do for a while. And the group chat or the Facebook page has actually been helpful. I remember putting a message in there 2 years ago saying I was really nervous to host my first trivia game. And it was actually at a dive bar down the street. And I ended up doing it for a year straight. And you guys gave me like almost a pep talk and said tips, I guess, and stuff on how to be better and how to be calm. And second of all, I remember putting a post in there saying I just didn't have the funds. I mean, you guys are at $1 a month now, which I sometimes forget. But I said, is there anywhere you can go for if you don't want to do the Patreon or if you don't have the funds or commitment or whatever? And I found a bunch of stuff on your TeePublic thing. And I told you I wanted to wait for this date to host, actually, because it was my birthday last week. And I asked for a bunch of Triviality gear, so I got a bunch coming there. If anybody ever wants to make like a one-time purchase or something outside of Patreon. It sounds like I'm shilling for you guys, but I can assure you.
No, we appreciate it. And happy birthday too. That's awesome.
Yeah. I just want to say thanks. I've been listening for a long time, and I appreciate it. So
people should never feel bad about not supporting us. We really appreciate the generous support we get on Patreon. But if you aren't able to, don't feel bad. If you want to do us a favor in that regard, recommend the show to a friend.
There you go.
That's a huge
download an episode.
That's a huge compliment and an honor that we would be proud to accept.
Yes, indeed. Well, thank you so much, Grant, for rating today's game. Great questions. Chris, you're a great teammate. Any final shout outs from you?
I'd like to shout out your friend and mine, Jay Borsum. Her trivia stream, twitch.tv/liquid_courage. I believe is how you do it here.
It continues.
It's KOURAGE. You can find me there most nights. That's where I do most of my trivia. So
wonderful.
She's great.
Always happy to give her a shout out, and go to her trivia too if you're in the area.
All right, and of course we would be remiss if we didn't thank our podcast network, Airwave Media, where you can find such excellent podcasts as Rainbow Puppy Science Lab.
Sounds reckless, but okay.
Yeah, The Scientific Melody, and The Team House. Sounds like a baseball podcast, potentially.
Sounds good.
Yeah, just
check
go right.
Them all out.
Yeah, airwavemedia.com. You can listen to all those great podcasts. Well, for Matt, who is in Paris, karate chopping some dudes, and
on a boat,
and for Ken, Grant, Chris, and Jeff, my name is Neil. We thank you very much for listening to us, and we hope to see you next week on Triviality.